There is an incredible amount of interest around 360 cameras and drones right now. And whilst pairing a 360 camera with a drone isn't particularly anything new, what is new was the announcement of the Anti-Gravity A1, the world's first 360 camera drone that is going to be based around Insta360's camera technology. Now, I don't have an A1 to show you here today, but what I do have is this, the Insta360 X5. A few weeks ago, they reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in taking a look at some of their products, and they have sent me over the X5 as well as a number of accessories to take a look at. Now, this isn't going to be a review of this camera. I can't review a camera and go over everything in the same video. This is going to be an overview of the X5, giving you a walk through some of its features, its main specifications, but also some of the accessories as well, including the lens replacement kit that is available for this camera. Yes, you can replace the lenses on this. This camera has that feature, and I'll explain why that's important a little bit later. Now, just to be crystal clear, Insta did reach out to me and send me this camera for free. However, they have not paid me to make this video. They have not influenced me. They have not given me any guidance. They have simply sent the products for me to take a look at. And as always, with all of my content, my thoughts are entirely my own. So, Insta have sent me over this package that you see here. We have the X5, which is their latest 360 camera. We have a replacement lens kit. Yes, you can replace the lenses on the X5. We have their ultra battery, which is increased in capacity over their standard battery. They very kindly sent me a 512 gigabyte card, and they've also sent me their extended edition selfie stick, which is made of carbon fiber. It's incredibly light, and I really want to show you that later on, because this is something I think is really cool. Now, obviously, the star of the show here is the Insta360 X5, so that's what we're going to concentrate on first. Jumping into the camera, first of all, you can see it there, held in place in cardboard in the box. Obviously, it's a 360 camera with dual lenses. This camera supports up to 8K resolution across both of those lenses. That is the combined resolution of both. You have 4K on either side, which combines together to make that 8K resolution. We'll come on to the main spec on the X5 in a minute. I just want to show you what else we get in the box as well. So alongside the camera, we have this little box of accessories here. There's nothing under that, so that is just foam. And then here, included with it, we have our instruction manual in a bag. Don't need to open that. We have some silica gel, which is pretty typical. You have this nice neoprene soft case, which contains inside a cleaning cloth, as well as a USB-C to USB-C cable. When it comes to the main specification of the X5, it is as follows. It's an 8K 360 camera, which means each lens is capable of recording up to 4K resolution. In 8K 360 video mode, the maximum frame rate you have available is 30 frames a second. However, that does increase to 120 frames a second if you reduce that resolution down to 4K. In single lens mode, it does support recording 4K on either side up to a maximum of 60 frames a second. All of that can be recorded in either H.264 or H.265 up to 180 megabits a second. Now, there is no built-in storage in the X5. It does take a micro SD card. This is located in the battery bay here, and that supports your standard micro SD card up to various storage levels, and they have included this 5112 one with the kit that they sent me. With regards to that battery that I've just removed, it is a 2400 milliamp hour battery, although they do offer what they call their ultra battery, which is this one here, which has a 400 milliamp hour increase in capacity to 2800. That's going to give you some extra runtime. Looking around the rest of the camera, you obviously have your two lenses. These are actually replaceable on this camera. They are not fixed, and this is one of the massive benefits of the X5 over either earlier cameras from Insta360, but also the likes of the DJI Osmo 360. They make a lens replacement kit for this camera, which allows you out in the field to be able to replace it should you have an accident. And trust me, these things absolutely do happen, because it happened to me whilst testing my other camera. As you can see, it is still brand new. I've still got the film over all of the lenses. There is microphones located various places around this camera. So for instance, if I peel that there is a microphone under that grill there. We've got a microphone on the back. And if you look around, there are various holes to allow it to pick up audio. It actually supports 4 separate audio modes as standard. And you can actually use this with Insta360's own wireless microphone as well. You can pair that up to this to give you proper audio from you personally, rather than being picked up by the camera itself. There is obviously a screen on this camera. Let me just peel that back. It is a 2.5-inch touchscreen. This is what gives us all of our controls on the camera. It is a portrait screen, which is quite unusual on things these days, but obviously you can use the camera in any orientation as well. And then looking around it, on the side, we've got a power button, we've got a quick menu button, and then we've got our 2 other buttons over here. On the bottom, you will find a 1/4-20 as well as Insta360's quick release mount, and that really is about everything there is to show you externally. The camera has this rubberized coating, obviously not on the screen, but on the front here and around the sides. That should offer some nice protection, but you also have that nice neoprene bag to keep it in whilst you're transporting it as well. Before being able to use your new Insta360 camera, you are going to need to set it up and activate it. Now here you can see it's asking me to set the language, and then it is going to ask me to download the Insta360 app from the store, which I have done, and then it's going to ask me to activate the camera. So what I'm going to do is click there. This is probably then going to pick up the device. There we go. It has found the camera. It is asking me to confirm, which I have done. It is then connecting, and then we'll see what it is going to ask me for. I suspect it's going to ask me to register because I haven't done that yet. Allow, connect to the Wi-Fi network. Here we go. New firmware. So there we go. We're going to tell it to do that. There you can see that the firmware update has completed, and it's now asking me to connect again. We'll just see now what happens. There we go. It's now asking me to activate. Camera has activated. So I was able to actually do that without any registration details. It's asking me, do I wish to sign up to include 12 months of Insta360 Plus? I'm going to say no to that right now. And then that appears to be it. Yep, there we go. We're online. You can see me there. Preview is compressed and the camera is up and running. Now, when it comes to using this camera, everything is fairly straightforward. You have the option of controlling everything via the touchscreen here. So for instance, in 360 mode, I can scroll around with this camera nice and straightforward on the display, but you can also fully control it with the Insta360 app as well. This camera has both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, which means you can control it any way you want to. With regards to the options and modes you have available, as I mentioned earlier, this camera does support up to 8K resolution in 360 mode. That's 4K on each lens. For instance, you're limited to 30 frames a second in 8K, but if you go down to 4K in 360 mode, you can go up to 120 frames a second. There is also a 5.7K mode, which goes to 60 frames a second, a 5.7K plus mode that goes to 30 frames a second. And you may have noticed along the top, the available modes will change what options you have as well. So for instance, you do have HDR available in specific modes. So for instance, 4K 60. However, once you go to 100, HDR is not supported, and HDR is not supported in the 8K modes. With regards to stills, if I switch into photo mode, the available options are as follows. You have up to the 72 megapixel stills. You can see there again, you've got HDR options available there too, although you can reduce that down to 18 megapixel stills depending on what your use case is. Remember, it's that standard quadrupling of the standard resolution that is giving us a 72 megapixel number. Alongside the 360 modes, there is also single lens modes available on this as well. This is where it will act a lot more like a standard action camera. So there you can see I'm at a frame. I've now come down and you can see it's put a little bit of a box around my face. In this mode, it just uses one lens. You have the option of swapping either the front lens or the back lens, depending on which way you want to look. It then will also warn you about the different modes you're in, and then you obviously have your recording options for those modes available as well. So for instance, in 4K, we can go up to 60 frames a second, 2.7K, we can go up to 60, 1080p, we can go up to 120, and then you also have your aspect ratio options available up here as well. So you can go 16:9 or 9:16. There are also lots of different recording modes available on this camera. You can access these by pressing our button down here, and alongside video and photo, you've got features such as pure video, insta frame mode, time lapse, time shift, bullet time, loop recording, road mode, star lapse, burst mode, interval, and then back to our photo. So there's a lot of different modes available, and all of these obviously have their own features and capabilities. I'm not going to have a chance to go through them in this video, but again, they offer a little bit more than your standard recording modes. With regards to the main other controls on the camera, everything is fairly straightforward. If you want to adjust your manual settings for your camera functions, you can slide to the left, and this will give us our auto and manual settings. So when we're in stills, you have EV and auto white balance, but you can change this to manual as well for your shutter speed as well as your ISO. But you can also do this in video too. So if I switch to video mode, you will see if I swipe across, we have our color profile options, we have our EV, our auto white balance, and then you've got your manual modes available there as well if you want to dial things in yourself. When it comes to being able to play stuff back, you just swipe to the right, and this will then bring up the main playback menu here. It has a little gallery of what you've recorded on your SD card. Remember, there is no storage built into this camera, so you will need an SD card in to be able to view anything, and that allows you to view it and be able to play it back from there. Finally, swiping down from the top will give us our main menu options. You have a bit of a quick menu first of all. So you can see things like orientation lock, screen lock. You've got a cog there for our main settings. But you do have things like brightness, volume, and there's even an option that allows you to turn on and off the status LED at the bottom. You swipe right, you then have some additional controls for gesture, voice control, twist and shoot, as well as the presets and accessories. And if you keep swiping right, you then have your I/O controls for your Bluetooth, your audio settings, your quick capture, and your timed capture options. I'm not going to go through all of the options that are available in the settings menu, but if you go into it, you can see there's stuff here for general. There's lots of different options in here available. You've then got your SD card options for formatting your card, time code options, Wi-Fi settings, app settings, image settings. So this is where you would be able to set your bit rates and your codec type. You can select H.264 or H.265, your bit rate of standard or high, depending on what mode you're in. This camera does record up to 180 megabits a second. Your video sharpness settings, anti-flicker, and your in-camera stitching option if you're using 360. Then you've got your customizable buttons option. Nice feature on this is you can actually customize both this button and this button on the side here as well. And it even shows you which button you're referring to when you skip through the options. And then you've got further options such as skip intro outro, screen reader, power off charging functions, gyroscope calibration, stitching calibration, and pretty much all the usual stuff you'd expect to find on a camera. Obviously, one of the main ways people are going to want to use this though is via the app, and you can see that there. You have all of the same functionality in the app than you had on the main menus. So for instance here, I can scroll around. You can see my hand moving there with the camera. We have all of our controls along the bottom. I'm not going to replicate what I've just gone through on the camera itself, but the very basics are you have all of the controls available via that built-in Bluetooth and wireless functionality, which means you can just set it down on the side and then control it from your phone. Alongside being able to control the camera, the app also allows you to do all your editing and export and share your footage with friends, family, or online. It has some really nice features, including AI tracking, AI auto editing, framing, as well as all of the manual edit functions such as tracking, focus, and your ability to set specific points and allow the camera to smoothly transition between the different views. If you're after something a little bit bigger though, you also have the PC app available as well. This allows you to fully edit the footage on your PC or Mac, and this gives you a lot more control and allow you to export it into then the likes of Resolve or any other editing program. Now, as I've mentioned, I'm not going to be concentrating on footage too much in this video. There will be a little bit where I'll show you on the selfie stick in a minute, but I've also been testing the camera. I recently took it to the Ardra Pilot conference, and more than the footage, I just want to talk about how handy a 360 camera is, because you can use it not only to record what's straight in front of you, but you can do panning shots like this, record some of the talks, and even get yourself a little bit of a backstage view of what was going on with me and some of the people around me. Taking it out and about as well to walk you around Ben's new premises. 360 cameras just give you so many options. I'm really enjoying getting used to working with these cameras, playing with these cameras, and as a content creator, they really do offer some fantastic capabilities, especially if you're someone that tends to record on your own. Another really nice feature the X5 has is its pure video mode. This is available from our modes, and pure video offers better image quality in low light conditions. To get the best from this mode, you want to also go into your settings, into your image settings, and make sure that you have your bitrate set to high and your video sharpness set to low. Just to demonstrate the difference between the pure video and the normal mode, here I'm recording in normal mode. I've turned the lighting off in the studio at the back end. We've still got a little bit of lighting at the front end, but it is particularly low light in here. If I just pop up on my main camera, just so you can see how dark it is on that, then switching back to the X5, here you can see what it looks like. And then what I'm going to do is hop over to the pure video mode and show you just what that does. So now this is in pure video mode. Nothing has changed on the lighting. It is exactly the same as it is before. Hopefully I framed the images roughly the same so you can see the same thing. But what you should see is the improvement in the low light performance. Here, taking it to the next level, I'm in standard mode again, and I've now turned off all of the lighting. There is still some light in here off the monitors, but also off that 3D printer as well. However, there is no lighting above me at all. And then I will hop over to pure video, and here you should be able to see the difference between the modes. You're always going to have noise and artifacts as a result of low light, but again, it's offering a mode that should help improve in the dark. Now, the last thing I want to show you, which I think is really cool, is this, the extended edition selfie stick. It is a carbon fiber selfie stick, as you'll see in a moment, but what's really nice about this is the fact that it extends up to 3 meters in length. As you can see, it is made of lovely carbon fiber. We've got a foam grip with the Insta360 name on the bottom there. On the bottom, we've got a 1/4-20, and then there's a 1/4-20 on the top as well under that little rubber cap. And what's really cool about this is that it extends up to 3 meters in length. You can see the different lengths shown there, and whilst it is very long, it is lightweight because it is made of carbon. There are actually 7 individual sections that pull out, so you slide the first, which leads to the second, and so forth, and you keep going until it's extended all the way out, and that is then giving you that massive 3 meters of reach on the stick. And just to give you an idea, this is the kind of reach that you get from the 360 camera with the stick. I can now swing around, but what's quite cool is the height that you can get with this. So for instance, I can move up here, and whilst it's not the most exciting thing to see, what it does allow you to do is get up and close into places you just wouldn't usually be able to. But obviously you can still use it at the shorter lengths, it's not a problem. It just gives you quite a bit more flexibility. As I mentioned earlier, one of the major benefits of the Insta360 X5 over other models, including the new DJI Osmo 360, is this little kit here, which allows you to replace the lenses on the camera. And trust me, this is something that you may need, because in my testing of my Osmo 360, I actually damaged the lens and I've ended up having to send it back to DJI to get it replaced. It isn't about cost, it's about how easy that is to do. It's about being able to continue to use the camera out in the field. This kit is available in two versions. You can get it from Insta360 as a single or a double lens. The single lens kit is currently available for $26.99. It's actually not just a lens, it's a kit that allows you to replace the lens as well. I'm not going to show you here how to do it today, but Insta360 have some videos and instructions on how to do this, and the very basics are this kit allows you to swap out the lens in the field, and what that means is if you do break your camera and accidents happen, trust me, this means that you can carry on in the field as long as you do have one of these kits. Now inside it has everything you need to be able to perform the repair. There is a lens replacement guide at the top, and then it has all of the tools and accessories. As I've said, it's actually a kit, which is quite cool. Inside here they give you, again, instructions for use. We've got disposable gloves. We have some lens cleaning cloths, so cleaning wipes, lens cloth. Then there is a tool, a brush there. We have a, what is this? Oh, I know what this is. This is a spludge or a plunger, or it's an ear blower is what it is, but I'm going to call it something pretty random. So there we go, for blowing air. We have the replacement lens itself, which comes in this little box, and you can see that there. So that's ready to go. Got that little sticky piece on the top of it ready. I'm going to close that back up because I don't want that to get dusty. And then you've got the special lens replacement tool as well, which they include, and this then allows you to remove the lens off the original camera and replace it with the new one. As I mentioned at the start of the video, this was not a review, it was just a bit of an overview, a showcase of the Insta360 X5 and some of its accessories. There is obviously a lot of excitement around 360 cameras out there right now, especially with the news that you're going to have this 360 drone from Anti-Gravity, based around some of the Insta360 technology. I'm really looking forward to that, and I've started to use 360 cameras more on the channel. They really do offer some very handy functionality as a creator. Rather than having a camera person with you, having a 360 camera allows you to just be able to plop it down, record your footage, and not worry about things like framing, and you can do some nice shots with it as well. I'm going to be testing this and reviewing this properly over the next couple of weeks, and there's going to be another video from me talking about this compared to the likes of the Osmo 360 as well. So if you're interested in seeing that, please do consider subscribing to the channel, and hopefully you'll get a subscription notification when that is released. Now, if you're interested in getting this camera or any of the accessories you've seen here today, there will be a link to them on the Insta360 website. I want to say a big thank you to Insta360 for sending this over for me to take a look at. Very interesting indeed. A lot of really nice little features, and the software is what really makes the difference on the Insta360, especially compared to the one from the 3-letter brand. But again, we will talk about that in the review. Now, if you'd like to get them, the link will be below. And if you'd also like to support the channel, please consider checking out the link to my Patreon as well as buying me a coffee. It is only through the support of my Patreons I'm able to keep making content on this channel. And if you'd like to support us, please do consider checking it out. I want to say a massive thank you to all of my Patreons. We would not be able to do this without your support. Anyway, that's it from me on this one. Let me know what you think down below. Look after yourself, stay safe. I will speak to you soon.